Hey, hello, welcome to day 2 of Pilates mat and functional fitness movement with me, Odile. I'm so glad that you're able to join. So we're just going to go right to it today. We're going to start with the pelvic tilts. So you will need your ball. I want you to, if you don't have a ball, you could just use your hands. Hands are a great way to give you a little tactile feedback. That's really what this is about. So without the ball, let's say you don't have a ball, you would take your hands, make them into the shape of a diamond, and then put your hands underneath your sacrum so you can actually feel your low back, your sacrum, really, not even the low back, but way down from that, all the way into your hands, right? Palms are flat. But if you have a ball, I think it's a great tool. Go ahead and stick that ball right at the bottom of your sacrum there. And then from here, you're going to curl the pubic bone towards your head. Inhale here and exhale, arch your pubic bone towards your feet. And as you start moving, curling and arching, start finding your breath, arriving onto your mat. And you breathe in fully into the side and back ribs as you're rocking. So you're kind of lulling your body into a relaxed position, a relaxed state. This gentle rocking of the pelvis soothes the whole body. We haven't really talked about the core yet, but we're about to right now. So come back to the middle. Now that your body has arrived, I want you to close your pelvic floor. So yesterday we worked on feeling the pelvic floor closure, narrowing the two pelvic halves. For female, closing the pelvic floor, feeling the pelvic floor muscles like elevator doors squeezing shut. For male, you want to feel the muscles around your scrotum narrow into the midline. And then as you exhale, feel that musculature pull up. So the perineum is physically ascending, moving upwards into your abdominal cavity. Inhale, keep that contraction even on the inhalation. As you exhale, we talked about the bucket of paint on your pelvis. You're going to keep that pelvic floor strong and curl the bucket of paint towards your head. Inhale back through neutral. As you exhale, arch your bucket of paint towards your feet and then bring it back to neutral and curl towards your head. Inhale back to neutral. And arch towards your feet. Oh my goodness. And back to neutral. My apologies. Oh my gosh, there we go. And arch towards your feet, back through neutral. Life intervenes sometimes, doesn't it? And curl back through neutral, but it doesn't need to distract us from what we're doing. And arch, and then come back to neutral. Perfect. So now we've got that bucket of paint on our pelvic bowl. We're going to close the pelvic floor, keep pulling up the pelvic muscles internally. So you're closing the elevator doors. And now we're tipping the pelvis to the right and then come back to center and tip the pelvis to the left and bring it back to center and to the right and back to center and left. Good job. Back to center. A couple more times here, prioritizing not so much just the pelvic tilting, but we're prioritizing the release of the low back, releasing of any sort of tension in the sacrum and around the hips. But the paradox is, in order to release tension, I actually need to engage my core more. So there's a finite amount of core engagement though, because if we over engage, we lock up. So go ahead and kind of play with how much can I engage my core and still keep my hips moving. Okay, come back to center, curl the pubic bone to your head, tip to the right, down to your tail, over to the left. So now we've got that bucket of paint swirling around. One more time this way. Good. And then come back to the middle, pause in the middle, check in with your low back, check in with your hips. Inhale, as you exhale, close the pelvic floor and deep abdominals. Keep drawing up to the pelvic floor. Feel that elevator door close and lift up the elevator, curl. So now we've got the bucket of paint pouring to our head. Now we're going the other way. And I can really feel the tension in my low back, especially on my left side, starting to dissolve. Haven't really cued the breath here. So just start to notice your breathing, inhaling and exhaling. One more. Can you keep the pelvic door closed and keep that pelvic elevator ascending? Good. Go ahead and lift those hips up. Come on down one vertebra at a time and just be here for a moment. Notice your sacrum. So if you were on your hands, move your hands out of the way and just notice your sacrum as it meets the mat. Take a moment to feel where your low back is, the little spot behind your belly button. So the gentle arch of your back, has it flattened out completely, or has it increased in its arch, or is it able to just be a natural curve and lengthened? And that's ideal. So we're preserving the natural curve, but still lengthening through our low back. All right, we're gonna bridge up just kind of casually, lift up. I wanna stretch out the psoas. We're gonna pull the left knee into the chest. You're gonna go back onto your ball. If you don't have a ball, you can grab a yoga block, or you can grab a towel, roll that towel up and put it under your sacrum. So what I've done is I've pulled my left knee into my chest, curl your pubic bone towards your head, feel that right leg nice and long, keep deepening and engaging into the deep abdominals. Can you close the pelvic elevator doors that live deep inside your pelvic bowl? Can you ascend that pelvic elevator even though your right leg is reaching away from your head? Your elevator in your mind's eye is pulling up in the direction of your head. So this oppositional position and angles are creating the stretch in your body. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Good. Go ahead and slide that right leg in, lower the left foot down and change. Hug that right knee into your chest. Keep the pelvic floor active. Keep the deep pelvic bowl muscles engaged. And curl the pubic bone in the direction of the ceiling in your head while your leg is reaching away from your pelvis, your pubic bone. And notice the kind of really yummy, I can't think of another word, opening of that left front hip. Keep the pubic bone curled to the ceiling. Continue to hollow and scoop your abdomen and stay connected. 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale and exhale. Good job. Can you feel that gentle opening at the front of that left hip? So we'll do more of that throughout the series, but right now we're just going to do that much. We'll come up off the ball, move your ball out of the way. Let's go ahead and put attention onto the bridge. So you're going to go ahead and press the soles of the feet flat into the mat. As you're pressing the soles of the feet flat to the mat, go ahead and curl the pubic bone up 1 vertebra at a time. And position your heels so that they're in line with your buttocks. You don't want them to be too close or too far. When you get to the top of your bridge, let this be a warm up for your low back. So don't come up too high. Really emphasize more the reaching, lengthening of your kneecaps. Inhale here. And as you exhale, go ahead and soften from behind your heart first. Can you allow the area from behind your heart to soften? It's almost like the legs and the buttocks are holding up that portion of your body so your back can slowly come down without the weight of the legs falling down on them. You're really stretching and reaching, come all the way down to the bottom. Inhaling at the bottom, exhale and curl up. Feel the movement. Notice I didn't cue pelvic floor and core. And part of it is sometimes we need to just feel what the choreography of the exercise is, and then we can layer in the core. Ultimately, in a perfect world, we would always start with our core first, but sometimes we need to just kind of know what we're doing first. So how about this time? Here we go. Inhale, exhale, close your pelvic floor, zip up through the pelvic elevator, and then curl your pubic bone and then bridge up. Did it feel different? Because it felt different to me. I definitely felt more movement in my spine with that deep core engaging. Inhale here, exhale, go ahead and roll down. 1 more time. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go back to grabbing the ball. That was really great. Hopefully, as you lie here for a moment, just assessing your back, how does it feel, right? Does it feel like you have a little more length in your spine? In a perfect world, that would be amazing, and that's what we're working towards. So go ahead and close the pelvic floor, deep abdominals. We're moving into the more abdominally focused exercise portion. So go ahead and bring your right leg to tabletop. You're going to put the ball at the front of your right thigh. Left foot can stay down, although if you're advanced, you're welcome to go ahead and bring that left leg up to tabletop to meet the right leg. I'm going to keep my leg down to start. So just assess here as you're in this tabletop position with the ball. Did you flatten your back? Did you arch your back? I want your spine in neutral. So you've got a tiny little space about the size of a blueberry behind your navel center. Don't mush the blueberry, but don't let the blueberry roll away by arching too far. You ready? Inhale, exhale, and press. Right hand and both hands into the ball as you pull that right leg in. And emphasize not the hand or the leg, but the way it contracts across the deep abdominals. And then release. Inhale, exhale, and press again. 2, and release. And press again. 3, and release. 4, and release. And 5, and release. Okay, we're going to change legs. Bring your left leg up to tabletop. Inhale, exhale. So instead of moving our pelvis or spine, we're pressing our hands into the thigh into the ball, and we're going to engage our core as we press and release. Exhale and press 2 and release. This is an oldie but a goodie. 3 and release. And 4, release. Last one, 5 and release. Okay, if you're ready for the challenge, you're going to bring both legs up, both thighs squeeze together and the ball at the front of your thighs. If you're not quite ready for that, you're going to go back to 5 with your right leg up. And then when I get to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you're going to switch to left leg. Okay. Inhaling in this position. Inhale, exhale, activate pelvic floor, deep abdominals, close the elevator. And here we go. We're going to press 1, release, exhale, press 2, release, 3, release, 4, release, and 5. Good. 6, here we go, changing legs if you were single legs. 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Okay, a little spicier. Here we go, another set of 10. This time we're going to nod our head, curl up. If you can stay up here, ideal, otherwise come down between each one and press 1. If you need 2, go ahead and hold one hand behind your head. 3, stay curled up. 4, still in neutral here. 5, 6, changing hands if you didn't already. 7, if you got one hand behind your head. 8, what's your pelvic floor doing? 9, make sure you're pulling up that elevator. 10, and come on down. Really good. Awesome warm up. Come all the way up. Okay, we're going to come on to all fours. From our all fours position, we're just going to rock back and forth. So you're going to press back, coming forward. Exhale, inhale forward. So as I'm on all fours, do you remember yesterday we were being cats and we were pulling in the pregnant, the kittens into our bodies. So we're pregnant cats. So take a moment here to pull up those kittens, pull them into your body as you press back and forward and press and forward. 5 more. And 3. Good. So what we're doing here is we're stretching the buttocks, opening the hips, sending your thigh bones way back into the hip cup and letting the hip cup stretch back over the thigh bone. 2 more. We're also warming up in the shoulder girdle. Last one. Awesome. From here, we're going to go side to side. So I'm going to rock over towards my right knee, foot, kind of over the right side of my mat, and then come forward over to the left shoulder. And right buttock, left hand and shoulder. So I'm working on a diagonal. It's awkward. Do you want to put your feet down? Does that feel better for you? Going all the way down, does that work? Maybe it doesn't work for you. So you're going to do the variation that works best for you. Remember, the intention here is functional movement. Pilates is really, really wonderful. Otherwise, I wouldn't have dedicated my life to teaching it. But sometimes it can be a little bit limited in what it offers. Now we're going to go on a diagonal over to the left side. So pelvic floor, deep abdominals, keep pulling in those kittens. and come forward. So now we're adding more dynamic movement into our practice. The intention is to stretch out the back, stretch out the hips, the glutes, the outer thigh muscles, inner thigh muscles, back of thigh, front of thigh. You get the idea. One more. Good. And now go around in a circle. So as you're doing your hip circles here, I'm not rounding and arching my spine. That is one variation, but that's not the variation we're doing today. You notice my spine is staying pretty flat, right? On purpose, because I really want the movement to hit and target the hips and buttocks and sacrum, not so much right around my lumbar at the moment quite yet. Now we're going to go the other way. Good. 3 more. 2, that's it. And last one. Awesome. So from here, we're going to take a moment, put the right foot forward into the space between your hands. Left foot is going to stretch back. We're actually going to do thread the needle, which is going to seem a little bit strange. I'm going to take my right hand and put it on the inside of my right foot. Okay, and I'm just going to stay here for a moment, kind of dropping down a little bit. So when I say dropping down, I'm not collapsing. I'm actually feeling my pubic bone and pelvis curl forward while I reach my leg back more. All right, I'm going to take my right arm up to the ceiling, inhale, exhale, and then I'm going to twist around to the left. So it's kind of a combination of thread the needle and a single leg lunge. 2, inhale. Exhale, 3. So we warmed up the core with some of the exercises. We've already stretched out our pelvis and our low back. So now we can be more dynamic safely. 1 more, inhale, exhale. Good job. Bring that down, stretch it back, sit back, and take a moment in child's pose. Pause here. Big breath into the side and back ribs. Big breath out. Can you feel that exhale turn on your pelvic floor and deep abdominals? And then come back up. Okay, so now we're going to change. Left foot is going to be forward. So find your plank position. Press that left foot forward into the space between your hands. And then go ahead and put your left palm down, right palm down. And remember, you're going to gently stretch your pubic bone forward, opening up to your chest, but I'm not collapsing, which requires my back leg, my right leg, to really be alive, really invigorated. And then I'm going to take my left arm, spiral to my left leg is in front. I'm going to twist to my right. Ooh, I feel a big, big, big back stretch. Inhale, exhale. My inner groin, my outer hips, hamstrings. This is an amazing yet simple move. So modification here, if this is feeling really intense, go ahead and just be on all fours and do traditional thread the needle. Inhale, exhale. 1 more, inhale and exhale. Good. Go ahead and bring that down. Both feet and knees are back down. And now we're going to wag our tail. So a lot of today's movement is going to be centered around the low back, the hips, the thighs, right? Inner and outer thighs. Really paying attention to that area of the body, kind of the epicenter to a certain extent. 1 more each side, side and side. Perfect. Okay, so from this position, we're going to lie back on our back. If you happen to have a magic circle, fantastic. It would be really helpful in this exercise. If you don't have a magic circle, that's perfectly fine as well. You can use your ball or your yoga block. Okay, so you always have that as an option. Okay, before we actually do the exercise, we're going to use the magic circle between our inner knees. I want you to do something for me. So you can even move the magic circle out for a second. I want you to trace a line from your inner thighs, even with your feet down. Trace a line from your inner thighs all the way to your pelvis. Notice that you land not just at your pubic bone, but it kind of drops you right into your pelvis itself, right? So Your inner thigh is intimately connected to your pelvis, which is where those low, deep abdominals live. As a matter of fact, if you were to take your hands and you can even kind of straighten your legs, but not all the way, walk your hands from your hip bones along that bikini line into the pubic bone, about an inch or so in from your hip bones, that's these two hip bones in the front, not the thigh bones on the sides, you'll feel kind of a drop off. That drop off is where your femur head, the ball that lives, you know, people refer to ball and socket, the ball lives that deep and that close to the pubic bone, right? So I want you to keep that in mind because we're going to be doing some inner thigh squeezes. And when we think inner thighs, so often we just isolate inner thighs. Today, I want you to really integrate inner thighs to deep abdominals. So here we are, we've got our magic circle between our inner thighs. Remember, inner thighs feed right into pelvic bowl. So inhale, take your magic circle, let your legs open out a little bit. As you exhale, squeeze the magic circle. Now, can you put attention on squeezing the right half a little bit more and feel that pelvic floor activate as you're squeezing that right inner thigh, and then release both legs. Inhale, exhale, squeeze both inner thighs, but put more attention on that left half, the left inner thigh, the left inner groin, the left deep inner abdomen that we were working a little bit ago on the ball. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to work both at the same time. So inhale, exhale, squeezing 1. Inhale, exhale, squeezing 2. All right, so as you're doing this, keep going while I'm counting 3. I want you to pull up through the pelvic floor. I want you to feel not only the elevator door shut down at the pubic bone, but you feel your abdominals narrow and kind of knit into each other in the middle of your body, right above the pubic bone, that zipper line from the base of your zipper all the way up to your navel center. And that continues all the way up the front of your body to your nose and out to the crown of the head. So there's a complete kind of connection of the right half and left half of your body pulling into the midline every time you squeeze that magic circle. 3 more. 3. Don't mush your blueberry. Keep that blueberry stable. 2 and 1. Okay, so we're going to squeeze, hold here, inhale. As you exhale, you're going to curl the pubic bone and bridge up. So now we're layering contexts, right? We've got our pelvic tilt. We've got that tip of the paint. We're squeezing the magic circle using the right and left half of the pelvis, and we're engaging the hamstrings like in that bridge that we did earlier. Inhaling up at the top. As you exhale, roll down 1 vertebra at a time. Keep pulling up through the pelvic floor and gently roll all the way down. Release the magic circle, widening your thighs. Exhale and squeeze. Right half, left half, pulling into each other. Inhale here and exhale. Curl the pubic bone up, 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 up. Push down, down, down into your feet. Feel that bucket of paint pour towards your head as you lift those hips, opening up the front of the hips. Inhale, exhale, and roll down. Keep pouring that bucket of paint towards your chest. Lie back. 1 more time as you roll down. Inhale, release the magic circle. Exhale, squeeze 1 last time. Close the right half and left half of the pelvis. Close the pelvic floor. Knit the 2 halves of your right and left half body together, right pelvic half, left pelvic half, and then curl up into your bridge. Inhaling at the top, exhale, rolling down. Keep hugging in that midline. That midline holds our center, the place where we kind of marry the 2 halves of us, where everything is possible, and come all the way down and release. Amazing. Okay. So we're going to stay in this position. You're not going to use your magic circle at this moment. Squeeze those legs together. Interlace your fingers at the base of the skull. As you exhale, nod your head and curl up. 1. All right. Without the magic circle, can you still feel the right and left half knitting together? 2. How is that going for you? 3. So as I'm curling up, I'm imprinting into my rib cage. We'll talk more about imprinting, I think, tomorrow. So I want you to just feel that sensation of my ribs are really anchored, but not my blueberry, right? So I'm keeping that blueberry neutral, keeping my pelvis neutral, and focusing on pulling the 2 halves into the midline. 4 and 5. Use that inner thigh memory with that magic circle. 6 to help you hug that midline. 7 and 8. 2 more. You're doing amazing. 9. We're going to stay up on this one. 10. Okay, if you're feeling good, you want to take it to the next level, both legs up to tabletop. If you're not sure, you can take one leg and we're going to twist around to the right. Come back to center, twist to the left. I know we've got one leg down, one leg up, and twist to the right. And center, twist to the left. And right, center, left. Keep connected, right, center, left. Last time, right, center, left. I lied. Last time with your right leg up, left leg up, right leg down. Can you keep your blueberry intact? Can you close the right and left half pelvic half and just kind of hug into the midline even though one leg is in the air? Here we go. Twisting left, come back to center. Twisting right. This is dynamic, functional, right? Oh my God, with my daughter here, she'd be like, Mom, that's such a mom joke. 3 and twist. Keep hugging the pelvic floor, deep abdominals, twist and twist. 4 and twist and twist. 5, bring it down. Yes, I think we got something there. All right, so we're gonna add on the coordination exercise. I actually love teaching this exercise on the floor, not only on the reformer. This is a reformer exercise. Let's go through the choreography. Imagine weights in your hands, right, which you would have on the reformer because you'd be pressing straps. In another variation that we do further down in our little video series, our 10-day series, we're going to use the stretch band. But today, we're just going to go naked, raw, right? Just using our body for this exercise. You ready? So close the pelvic floor, zip up the pelvic canal, feel the connection, squeeze those inner thighs, inhale to prepare. As you exhale, nod your head, curl up, reach. Okay, so ultimate question, am I in flat back or am I in neutral? Come lie back down. So on my exhale, I'm gonna nod my head. Today, we're gonna go flat back. Okay, so that blueberry, you are mushing that blueberry flat to the mat. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, nod your head, mush the blueberry completely flat behind your back. Reach your arms and legs forward. You're going to open and close your legs very quickly. So it's so fast. As you exhale and bend your knees, you stay in your flat back and you're going to curl up to your thighs, hollow scoop those abs. Inhale, lie back down. Exhale, nod your head, curl, reach those legs, reach those arms. Inhale, quick, open, close the legs. Exhale, bend those knees in, curl up, keep flattening your back as you curl, and lie back down. Inhale, exhale, nod your head, curl, reach arms, reach legs. Everything is stretching. Open, close those legs, not much wider than your mat. So it's more quick than it is big. Hollow curl, flatten your back, curl up, reach your fingertips to the end of your mat. Lie back down. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, nod your head, curl, reach, open, close. Exhale, bend your knees, curl up higher. Can you lift your pelvic floor muscles internally a little bit more and lie back down? Last one. Inhale, exhale, nod, curl, reach, quick, open, close. Exhale, hollow scoop. This time, instead of thinking of just curling up higher, I want you to squeeze the 2 halves of the pelvis into each other by hugging those inner thighs. Curl, and lie back down. Whoa. Okay, I definitely think we felt that. Come on over and flip onto your stomach. Let's open that up a little bit. Roll the shoulders back and just take a moment to come up, stretching it out and coming down. You don't have to go big. The idea is more that you're relaxing your shoulders down, taking those elbows back. You're pressing your pubic bone into the mat and lifting your ribs. And in this process, there's a release and relaxation and an elongation because you're actually engaging and stretching, which creates a good feeling. One more. Inhale and exhale. Pressing up. Excellent. Relax those shoulders down and then coming all the way down. Okay, so now we're going to lie on our right side, and I'm convinced my building is on a tilt. We're going to do just lateral leg raises. So we're continuing to think about the musculature of the outer hips and buttocks, the muscles in the low back feeling more released because the muscles in the abdomen are working more efficiently and more effectively to support the low back. Okay, one of the biggest muscle groups that can really help support the low back are the muscles deep inside the hips, the glute medius and the glute minimus. So you're going to go ahead and keep your legs nice and straight, very long. In a perfect world, you've got a tiny little window under the waist. And as you exhale, instead of thinking of really rigidly kind of flexing or pointing your foot, you keep your foot just super relaxed, and you're going to lift and lower that top leg. So as I'm lifting and lowering my top leg, I'm not turning it out or turning it in. I'm really just energizing from up inside my hip socket. Yep. As my leg goes up, my pelvic floor and core are working hard, and I'm going to do 6 more here. 6. So notice how floppy my top leg is. 5. Really relax your calves and shins, the muscles and bones of your feet. 3 more. 3. What's your pelvic floor and core doing? 2. I want to see those kittens pulling in. Last 1. That's it. And bring it down. Perfect. From this position, you're going to grab your ball. This is a twofer. Okay. The leg that's on top is going to be doing the work as much as the leg that's on the bottom. We are going to do both sides, so just keep that in mind. My top leg, notice I'm not resting my foot onto the floor. I'm going to keep my leg up. It makes it a little more challenging. My bottom leg isn't resting on the floor either. It's coming up. So every time I push my top leg down, I'm lifting my bottom leg up. You would think that this is a lot about the bottom inner thigh. I want you to try to really put attention on that top inner thigh as if it's going to pass and push into the ground all the way. That's what the ball is there for. If you don't have a ball, you can use your yoga block. Here we go. Inhale, exhale, and press. 1. Can you feel that whole left half of that pelvic bowl engage? So it's not just your inner thigh. 4 and 5. 6, 7, work that top inner thigh. 8, I know that bottom one is screaming. 9 is probably louder than the top one. 10, and bring it down. And that's okay. Part of it is learning to create sensation and awareness in areas that could be a little harder to feel. Okay, so we're going to go for a rond de jambe. This is a movement where you're taking your top leg in this position straight. Your bottom leg is in front, and the shape kind of a little bit in front towards the front end of your mat. It's called the banana shaped leg. You're going to take your top leg and point the toe, and then externally rotate your leg as you circle the leg up. Once the leg reaches as high as it can go without collapsing into the waist, you start to actually turn the ball in the cup. As you turn the ball in the cup, you start to stretch that leg backwards. You might even get a little hip stretch, and then bring the leg down, and you might brush the little plant that's in your video. I mean, I might do that. Don't let me move. Okay, here we go. I'm going to take my leg forward. So here I'm up in external rotation. If I had a piece of painter's tape on the front of my thigh, if the painter's tape is facing the ceiling, then it's facing forward, then it's facing to the floor, and then I bring the leg down. Let's do 4 more like that. 4, and bring it around. 3, yes. So we're still really strong with that core. 2, and bring it around. Last one, external through neutral, through internal rotation and down. And then we're going to reverse it. So as we go backwards, we reach through internal. My painter's tape stripe is pointed to the floor. Then I bring it up. Then I externally rotate as I circle that leg around. 1, internal up, external around. 2, internal up, external around. 3, internal up, external around. 4, internal up, external around. 5, and last one, and 6. Awesome. Fantastic work. We're going to go to the other side. That's really good. I move my mat because it's a little, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna have the ball handy. We're gonna do the outer leg first, and then we'll do the inner leg. Just move my ball so it's up kind of in my grasp. Okay, so bottom leg is relaxed now. Top leg long. Notice my foot is super floppy. Here I go. I'm gonna go up and down. Ooh, my hip is much tighter on this side. 2 and 3, 4. We're gonna do 8 of these. 5. We do 6 rond de jambes, but 8 of these. 6. Stay balanced, active through the pelvic floor. 7 and 8. Excellent. Now you're going to take the ball, put the ball directly underneath your knee on the top knee. Bottom leg comes up. 10 of these. Top leg pressing down, bottom leg lifting up. 1. Pelvic floor deep, abs engaging. 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Yep. 6. Remember, we're doing 10 of these. 7, 8. Can you knit the pelvic floor and core into the picture? 9. I know that's not easy. 10. That's part of the reason I chose this, is because we have to focus on it. And then go ahead and bring that down. Okay, the rond de jambe, both legs in front. Start with your top leg. So my bottom leg is in front, kind of banana towards the front of my mat. Top leg is up at hip height, not too high, not too low. Okay, we put that piece of blue painter's tape or whatever color you want on the front of your thigh, pointed straight ahead. It's gonna come forward. Then I'm gonna turn out. Oh my gosh, this is my stiffer side. I come up and around. I internally rotate and I bring it down. Forward, external, up. So balance becomes an issue. 6 going each way. 2 and forward, up. Roll the ball in the socket and bring it down. 3, external, bring it up. Internal, bring it down. 4, external, bring it up. Internal, bring it down. 5, last one, external, up. Internal, and bring it down. Now we go the other way. So we go back, internal, up, external, and down. So as you're doing this, your hip is not moving, right? Because your core is so strong that it's keeping that pelvis stable. Internal, up, external, down. 2 more, internal, external. Last one, internal. Ooh boy, external, and bring yourself all the way in. Come up onto all 4s. So we're going to play with that movement of the ball and socket. The great thing about these kind of series is that we can really isolate certain areas, knowing that the next day we're going to focus on other areas. So we're not necessarily trying to tackle all parts of our body in one kind of one day workout, right? Okay, so your right leg is going to come back, open, and bring that knee down. Did you see that? So I pulled my leg back in space. I'm not arching my back. I'm not curling. I'm staying in neutral. I'm pulling in my kittens. I'm circling my right knee and shin out and bringing it down. We're going to do like we did in our rond de jambe, 6 of these. So that's 3. Zip up through the pelvic floor and core. Please pull those kittens in. 4 and 5. Last one. Are you shaking? Because I'm shaking a little bit. And 6 going the other way. So now I'm opening out, kind of like a fire hydrant. I'm directing my leg back in space and bringing it down. 1, 2. This is again a little more on the functional side. 3. Preparing your thigh and pelvis for any movement that you're doing. 4. Core is strong. Stay engaged. And 5. Bring it down. Ooh, we got to do 6. Why did I stop at 5? And 6. Oh my gosh. Come on back. Little child's pose. Just after doing that, as you're into this child's pose, can you feel the difference between the right and left femur and pelvic half? I definitely feel a difference. Feels good. My right one feels kind of ready to go. My left one still feels a little restricted. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Left leg is going to go back, opening out. Oh my gosh. This is my tight side. 2. Exhale. Opening out and down. 3. Back, out and down. 4. Back, out and down, 5, back, out and down, 6. Now we go the other way. So I'm opening out fire hydrant, directing my femur back in space and bringing it down, 1, open, direct it back, 2. Can you keep pulling up through the pelvic floor and core, 3. So easy to get distracted with just what the leg is doing, but the leg can't function well if your pelvis and spine are wobbling all over the place. 5, 1 more. So hold strong and stable. 6. Oh yeah, bring it on down. Okay, 1 big breath here. I wish we could stay a little longer, but we can't. We are moving on. Okay, so we're gonna do some side to side legs. So I'd like to incorporate some of the movements side to side. And I've been really enjoying teaching a lot of standing work, standing material, as most of our days are spent in a more vertical posture. So for us to be able to resist gravity feels really necessary and have good posture while we're doing that. So if we are hip distance apart, I want you to take 1 more step apart. So you're like 2 hip distances apart, if you can kind of imagine that. And then you're going to come down like you're coming into a squat, right? So if you were to see me from a side view, I'm in this position. I'm not forward. I'm certainly not bent over, and I'm not exaggerating and pushing back. I'm really sending my butt back, still intending my chest to come forward, but really being mindful of my low back by connecting into my abdominals and pelvic floor. So come on down into this position. If you have knee issues, please only come as low as you can. All right, so we're going to go side to side. Can you stay low? Side, yep, to side. 2, side to side, 3. Good, side to side, 4. Side to side, 5. So what's happening here is you're starting to get tired. Are you starting to collapse? Is your posture falling, right? Is your butt sticking back further and further and your chest dropping to the floor? Don't let that happen. Stay strong. 2 more each side, side. So I'm absorbing my weight into one leg as the other leg is stretching, absorbing my weight into the other leg as the other leg is stretching, right? 1 more each side. Awesome. And then come all the way in. Okay, so now we're going to go down into a single leg lunge, up, reach. Okay, option, balance. So that's the more advanced option. Like I said, the ability to move through gravity is really important, right? So you've got options here. Okay, you ready? Option 1. So let me demonstrate. Option 1 is coming down, reaching up. Single leg, right? Fantastic stretch, good quad work, and reach up. So that's option 1. Option 2, down, step, down, step. Okay. Option 3, down, balance. Whew. I'm glad I nailed that one. Okay. When you come down, you're folding in half. So if you see me from a side view, I'm folding in half. I'm not arching and I'm not touching the floor with a rounded spine. I'm really absorbing this into my leg, right? So my leg needs to be able to pull up my screen a little bit. My leg needs to be able to absorb my body weight. If it can't take that much weight, then I don't go that far. My goal eventually is to get to the floor, right? And to have quads that are strong enough to be able to hold me up. That's what this is all about. Okay, we're ready? So here we go. We're going to go over to the right 10 times. Then we're going to swap and go over to the left. So you can build your variation. Here we go. Come down. Maybe you come right up to balance. 1, 2, and 3. Or maybe you just come up 4. Or maybe you tap 5. You choose. 6, 7, and 8. 2 more. 9 and 10. Awesome. Other side. So now we're going to head over to the left. You ready? Down. Pick your variation. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, remember that inner thigh work really comes in handy here. 8, believe it or not, for balance. 9, 10. All right, really good. Next, standing. Squat, so watch the choreography. Squat, up, circle. Squat, changing leg, circle. Okay, so ready for anything, right? Someone's talking to you, you need to turn around quickly. You want to have this range of motion. You also want to have the power to hold up your posture. So here we are, wide legs, not too wide, right? Because we are going to be shifting our body weight. So squat, up, circle. Hip distance apart, a little bit wider. Circle. That's it. Squat, circle. Yes. Squat, up, circle. 3. Squat, up, circle. Squat. 4. Good. We're doing each side, yeah? 5. Circle. Stay connected. And core strong, right? So it slows you down and gives you control. Isn't your legs, it's your pelvic floor and core that are giving you that control. Good, 3 more each side. Remember, only do your squat as big and deep and wide as you can stay out of your knees. Last one. And in your core. Awesome. Okay, back down to the floor we go. Last little series. And then we are nailing it for day 2, making sure that our bodies are ready to go and feeling amazing, right? More than anything. So go ahead and stack your hands one on top of the other. Press your pubic bone down into the mat. You don't need any props for this variation. So I'm pressing my pubic bone down, but I'm not tucking my tail, right? So I'm not trying to round my abdomen away from the mat. I'm actually pushing into the mat, feeling my pubic bone turn on my hamstrings. It's a pretty neat relationship that happens there. So then I'm gonna beat my heels together. So go ahead and press the pubic bone down, let your thighs float, open your legs, slightly turn them out. So if you were to look at your mat, you'd say like, oh yeah, my feet are hip distance apart, but my knees are straight. That's not easy, easier said than done. And beat your heels together. Beat, 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 beat. If they can touch without your knees bending, that's amazing. If they can't touch without your knees bending, don't force them to touch, because the bending of the knees is what we're trying to avoid. That's going to take it into the knee joint. We want to be inner thighs, deep glutes, deep hamstrings. Yes. Okay, so here's a little fun. Can you point 2 times, flex 2 times? Point, point, flex, flex, point, point, flex, flex. Flex, flex, point, point, flex, flex, and 6. And point, point, flex, flex, 5. Point, point, flex, flex, 4. And point, point, flex, flex, 3. And point, point, flex, flex, 2. And point, point, flex, flex, 1. And point, point, flex, flex, down. Whew. Okay, can you feel that? Really nailing it into those hamstrings, into the inner thighs and the glutes. Okay, now we're going to take the legs once again, pubic bone, pressing down to the mat. We're going to do crisscross, one leg over the other. So for a lot of folks, the closer the legs come into the middle, the harder it is on your back. So only move your thighs one over the other as much as you can stay out of your low back. So part of what you're learning here is how do I keep doing, keep moving, keep engaging, but staying healthy in my body, not causing pain, doing the least amount of harm possible, and actually increasing my strength and increasing my range of motion. So that's what we're going to focus on, right? Flexibility, strength. Here we go. Come up with the legs, start at hip, mat distance apart. Now I'm going to cross my left leg over my right leg. I'm not going to come too close. My thighs are a little bit tired from my workout yesterday, so I'm not going to force it today. I'm going to open my legs and then crisscross the other leg on top. Open and change. So I'm constantly assessing, how's my body feeling? Can I take it a little further? If I can't, and I'm listening to my body, I don't force it, right? I trust that over time, it will relax and yield if I just stay disciplined and keep with the practice. Notice I'm going slow. Open, cross, open, change, cross, open, change, cross, open, change, cross, open, change, cross. 4 more each side, cross, open, change, cross, open, change, 3 more each side, and cross, 2 more each side, cross, and cross, last one each side, cross, and cross, bring it down. Awesome. Shake your hips side to side. Doesn't that feel good? We're going to press up onto all fours. Here is our circle. So we thought we were going to go into cat. We're going to do a combination of cat and circle. So round your back into cat. Come forward. Go over to the right. Arch your back as you go backwards. And then round as you come forward. So this is going to look a little silly. Look a little sexy cat is kind of what they call this. But really it's sensual, right? And the sensualness is that your skin is moving over your bones and organs, and feeling all of that sensory makes it feel a lot more stimulating, right? Let's go the other way. Arching and curling. Arching and curling, one more, but still keep your core intact so that we're still taking care of our bodies. Okay, we're gonna have a seat. You're going to sit in this position where you've got your left knee in front, right knee and foot, I should say, is kind of pointed back. The movement that we're going to do is this. We're going to open over to the, twisting over to the right. Then we're going to sweep that left arm around, press into our legs, and open. So here, I always get a foot cramp when I'm doing this one. Always. I'm pushing down into my shins and knees, and I'm opening the psoas, the hips, everything as I come back down and over to the side. And circle around, reach 2, and bring it down. And 3, beautiful, pushing down into the tops of the shins and the knees, pressing into my left hand behind, reaching through my right arm and come all the way down. Let's do the other side. Some of this is discovery, right? So I can cue every detail, and I'm trying to do my best to give you as many bony landmarks as possible, but allow the discovery process to be part of your experience here. So we're going to turn our body to the left. Then we're going to turn, sweep the arm, push down into the hips, push down into your shins and knees, and stretch and bring it down over to the left. Exhale, reach, stretch, expand, and bring it down. One more. And reach. Oh, feels so good. And bring it down. Isn't that amazing? Okay, all fours into our Pilates inverted V. Inhale, lift your heel to the sky, scooping in and up with your abdomen. Allow the head to relax. Allow the feet to pedal. Let's stretch out those outer hips. So you're going to go ahead and bend your left knee, straighten your right leg. So I'm bending my left knee. I'm up on my left toes. My right knee is straight, but I'm turning it externally. And then I'm going to stretch my right hip and kind of buttock and outer leg, my right outer leg, back away from me. As I push into the outer pinky edge of my right foot, and that outer edge, I can feel a huge stretch all the way up to my hip, and then return. Doesn't that feel yummy? Okay, now I'm bending my right knee, turning my left leg to the left, and I'm stretching my left outer hip, my left outer thigh, pushing into the left pinky edge of that left leg, and really reaching the left side, the left waist. Stretch, engaging into the core. Good. And send both heels back. Perfect. Walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Inhale here, exhale, come all the way up. And by now, perhaps you know, or maybe you don't, and you're just learning. I love to do body swings to finish. It just feels like it completes the practice. So here we go, up, exhale, 2 more, inhale, exhale, last one. And we're done. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that your body feels, woo, look at that, I am all red. I hope your body feels refreshed and renewed and strong in your thighs and your hips, your low back, and ultimately your core. As gravity supports us in a certain extent, she always is a gift for us to learn how to exercise. She makes us stronger. So thank you for joining me and making yourself stronger. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.